daily, weekly, monthly, any time of the year you're in need for things that are in season, or just simply wanting to do any item that comes flat pack, or items you may order online that also are delivered in a manner where it has to be assembled, right? So we feature also, other than furniture, from time to time different installations and appliances of different types of fixtures, maybe even simply just inserting and doing some outdoor things as well. But here we try to bring you the best quality furniture assembly, in depth, in detail, with the video quality it deserves, so you can continually get these stuff done at home, at work, in the office, anywhere needs fit, assembling IKEA furnitures or flat pack, Wayfair, you name it, wherever you get your furniture from, even Temu. You can order some great furnitures from there as well. All right, here we go. We're gonna go ahead and show you guys how today we're assembling the MALM bed with storage. Okay, this is one, it's a unique one. It has a storage compartment underneath that's going to rise up and creates a nice way for you to store away things. This one is be built, and we are going to just go ahead and show you. We have box number 1 over there, box 2 here, box 3 in there, which seems like it features the headboard, and box 4. So we're going to start by opening box 1 and getting everything ready for you. Okay, enjoy. There it is. I'm trying to see what it's asking me for from step 1, and step 1 is going to be a comparison from box 1 and 2. All right, so let's continue. This is 2, so we'll open that one next. Let's just empty the contents of this box here. All right, and always check as you go along for any potentially damaged item. Okay, let's open this up. Alright, these are the slots. Let's leave these over here. There we go. Note, you have some with white, some with black. Don't know the importance of it 100%, but always be mindful. So when the instructions tell you to select a specific one, you do so. Okay. I'll keep me looking that way. Okay, let's go back over here. Look out for the hardware. Seems like we only have one more part in this. Let's go ahead and get that. Put this up here as well. All right. for space purposes. Go ahead and get rid of this box. Okay, let's open box 2. Nice way to open these flat top boxes is always to use a box opener. Okay, this one is a Clever Excel, but save you from scratching or damaging the item. And even when I slip like that, this could have damaged that, but it's protected because of how this thing is built. So always be mindful of that, ladies and gents. Okay, so here, see, we have some other parts. And we're gonna go ahead and start to line these up like it showed us. And what we'll do is take this over here. See, it shows us that these parts, the holes are on the end. So from what it seems like, we have this one already in the correct orientation. I'm gonna leave it right there. Let's take our side pieces here. You can rest them on or next to your hardware area. And this should be our setup for step 1. So as we're taking out this stuff out of these boxes, well, it's always good to start with box 1. And when you open up box 1, that allows you to go ahead and gather the things you need for those process, and it just helps you to see if 1 and 2 is where instruction 1 comes from. It's not always going to show you that, and then it shows you what hardware is going to come into play next. So the greatest thing here is that you already started to prep. Now if you look a step further, you see in step 3 it's showing you where those other pieces you just took out are going to come in handy. So we're going to start to create the space to look exactly like what the instruction is asking us. Okay, you see this one is on the outer side, the holes that is. Let's go ahead and place it right there for now, and we know the other one will come over here anyways, so we can move this down and keep this one right here. We'll have our area for framework of the bed assembly all sorted. We know it's going to be within this space, so let's work with that. There we go. And let's get one other piece out here. Okay, this goes on this side just like that. All right, there we go. So you should be starting to look like what the instructions look like. Could literally move this even over more. We'll get our other 2 boxes open up properly. We want it wide enough to put those 2 pieces, as they said, at the bottom and the top. We'll work with the space we have for that. Alright. This one's empty. Let's get rid of this one. Alright, so we can move this over. That's our last box, box 4. Let's go ahead and place our other pieces. As we see, this is up at the top because of the orientation of the 4 holes. Now this is just, as again, ladies and gentlemen, setting up for step 1. Let's say this also goes down here. And look at the orientation of these holes and place it as it shows us. All right, there we go. We got that one to work. And this is box 3 here. What I'm gonna do is move it right in the center, as it's open shortly. We just want to make sure that we show you guys what the page setup looks like, that it mirrors what we're doing here. Let's move our tools over. It's so hot, guys, I don't have the tool belt on. Need as much air blowing as possible. Okay, as I said, that was box 4. So here we are now inside of what you're doing, except for this in the middle. And make sure you are working on a, if you're not on a carpeted surface, make sure you have proper covering. Make sure the surface is clear and clean to not scratch the item. Okay, all right, here we go. So at this point, your setup should look like this, and you should also have bag 1 hardware close by. Let's get this opened up. So here we're gonna advance from step 1. So we like to show you guys the unboxing so you're not confused, and unboxing together always help us to achieve the best quality instructions for you anyways. So thank you for being here and enjoying that unboxing with us. Whew, so hot. Okay guys, so we're gonna move on, and this step we see that we're gonna need, as we move to 2, 4 of these, but the top of them are capped off. You see that? So let's grab 4 of those. Looking for 1 more here. Let's go ahead and pour these out in a manner that I can see them properly. And always good to organize the hardware. Now, no, it's not the smallest. Gonna be these. We'll match it up with what the instruction shows us. Let's advance from step 2, and the only way to do that is by running these out in the 4 corners of the top and the bottom unit. Top unit with the 4 holes, bottom unit. So let's just say headboard, we're gonna put 2 in. That's what they look like. All right, they send tools here with it. Keep those close by, but I always like to use my own special tools that help me to accelerate the assembly faster. Okay, so you just put these in clockwise, and just to tighten where you see it meets the board, and you stop right there. Again, right in the center of the 2 like the instruction shows you. Just want to show you what it looks like in front of you, as the instruction may not look like that, especially when you don't understand these schematics well. I mean, it's not confusing, but sometimes it shows little details you might miss. Now let's go ahead down to the bottom and do the same thing right in between where the instruction shows us. Then after that, we're going to move on to the wooden dowels and placing those in all the parts it says. All right. Good. Okay, and we'll leave this close by in case we need it. Note, now we're gonna go ahead and grab all the small wooden dowels. So let's organize the big ones out of our way. We don't need those yet. We're gonna gather all the small ones as our instruction shows us. We're gonna place those around. We need 16 of these, so I'm gonna grab all of them. 8 and 8, good. And group some of the rest of these stuff. So when you're looking for something, it's very easy to refer back to where you saw it last while you were sorting out the hardware here, and the 2 tools that come with. There we go. Okay, so now let's go ahead and put all of these out. We have 8 at the top, 8 going to the bottom. So you see here it shows us in great detail. Make sure, I'm gonna point this out, guys. You put these not in the middle but on the sides, not in the middle but on the sides, and these are just only 2 to put in each, and then same thing at the bottom. It's pretty straightforward. Let's get that done quickly. All right, so here we are, 2 in here, and here, and here, not in the middle. Okay, so that's what I mean. Flip around. Let's do the same thing on the other part. All right, there we go. Okay, next we're gonna do the same thing at the bottom. Okay, one more side, and we go ahead and start to advance through step 3. So that was step 3. Now here we are at step 4. It's showing us we're gonna need 8 of these little cam lock screws, and we're gonna run those 8 out on each of the small boards. So we'll grab our drill or screwdriver, whatever you choose to use, as it's a Phillips head. You can see that already, and you know what you're gonna need. Alright, again, it's always wise to keep a clean workspace to ensure that you can find what you need when you're looking for it. And we know furniture assembly, you don't need a ton of tools, but it's always good to have the extra and the special tools you use for this stuff. Alright, so here we go. Let's make sure our clutch is on the right setting. Don't want to ever damage these furniture. There we go. Now this is step 4. We're screwing all the cam lock screws down on 4 on each side of the rail pieces. All right. Okay, and after we do this side, this will bring us to the end of step 4. Step 5 shows us where we're going to actually raise each side up. All right, so what I'm going to do is, I see 4 wooden blocks in there, or even 3, whatever is in there, we're going to use to elevate this so we can achieve just what it showed us. All right, having these placed underneath, and that way we can quickly move forward by using what's right in the box. So you don't have to go find books now around the house. You can continue by just simply using what's already in some of the box. And if you already moved the box away, or you had the box somewhere else, you can go take a moment, find your wooden blocks as we finish up step 4. All right, so now that we've done that, let's retrieve these. They're pretty tall enough, very tall, so they're gonna give us the room we need. All right, let's say we'll get one more, so let's one from this. There we are. So we're just elevating like the instructions said. See, elevating using the same material from the box. No confusion here. All right, and let's go ahead and grab us a Phillips head screwdriver. This comes in handy with locking up these cam locks. Okay, and if you've reached this far, your area should look somewhat like this, and We have not opened our other box yet because we haven't even need those. It helps to contain how we're building in this area. So if we open up all the boxes, some builds we have to do that. Some builds allow you to get ahead before you make a big mess. Step 6, we're gonna place. So step 5 was placing the books and placing these units onto the side. So let's not even skip a step here, right? I want you guys to really have this one down pack. I'm just gonna get it onto the side like that. Okay, once you have it there, I'm gonna take one of these. All right, we're gonna place these out now, 8 of these, and then we'll do the same thing to this side. Okay, so that's gonna be step 6. So let's just make sure this also is set up, and step 5 is completed here. Once you're confident that those are on, let's go ahead and lock them up. Push the cam locks all the way down. All right. And repeat that all the way around. Let's repeat that here. Awesome. So this should bring us to the end of step 6. Now your panel should be nicely locked. We're gonna move forward. All right, now here it's pretty straightforward. Step 7 shows us how we're gonna interlock these pieces, and these are these 4 here. So what I like to do is go ahead and put them, set them in first. We'll set them, and as we prepare, we're gonna raise that top up as we see. For step 7, raise one side, get one side in, so we could get rid of the pieces that are underneath. I think we're done with that, and we're also gonna make sure it shows you here, bringing the Allen key that the set comes with. It's the exact size to already fit this. You don't need much of a special tool than this to make this work. Okay, there we go. And we'll push this in here like that, all the way down. Raise this side up, just like that. Let's get rid of these so-called books. Place this here. We're gonna raise this up, just like that, and we're gonna go ahead and connect right in. Okay, there we are. Push this forward a little bit. Alright, so once you're here, you're gonna take your Allen key and start to tighten it up. You'll feel it start to come together, and until it's tight, and make sure it's nice and straight, and lock it tight. Okay, that's it. And we're gonna go over here and repeat the same thing for this side. Now if you have things in the way, this is where you get a moment to move things over and keep your area organized. The unit itself is pretty straightforward. The storage is what the interesting part is. That might be where we run into a little more complication, but at this point you should be flowing pretty good. Okay, let's take this one up, get rid of these. Alright guys, I'm gonna turn the fan on. It is 97 outside and it's very hot. Here we go. right, give you guys a moment to get some water, get some refreshment, as we will continue in just a sec here. All right, so we continue. Okay, so we're gonna lock that other side up the same way by placing this in here like our instructions showed us. Let's get that all the way down, flip this up, bring it to join. Lock that on, lock it up, opposite way. Okay, let's do another full revolution, and as much as we can, one more. There we go, and tighten it to a slight tight right there. I believe that's good enough. Let's go ahead and move it back towards where we know it's gonna be, where we work with more space at the bottom, as we're gonna now move forward. So this box 3 here literally could slide up some more, and we'll open this up in the middle, and we can open the other one over there for space purposes. All right, looking good, looking good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now that we're at this stage, let's take the other two. Let's go ahead and lock those on like the instruction shows us. Okay, so we're gonna take this piece, bring it forward. Let's go ahead and place, since our hands can be empty. Good. Let's place the other one on the other side. There we go. Okay, let's lock this side up. Lock this side in. There we go. As usual, I always want to be glimpsing ahead where our next step is. Now, before you continue, make sure everything is in the right orientation, that all the holes are in the spec as it shows you here. All right, so lock this up. There we go. Nice and firm now. Alright, that feels good. Do the same thing here. And ahead, as we look, see that we're going to be going to join the top piece on. So guys, it's pretty straightforward to get to this level with this bed here. As I said, the storage part is what might add some confusion. Again, this is the MALM bed with storage. It's going to have a storage that opens up in the ear and gives this nice feel of you can store things underneath, right? So let's go ahead and continue here. Okay, so that should bring you to the end of step 8. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, 6, we put those cam locks to the side. 7, we flip them up and lock these bigger cam locks into place. Okay, and we did the same for the headboard, footboard. And now at the end of 8, you should be looking at a structure like this. Let's not zoom out, but step back and show you what you should be looking at. This is what you should see. Still haven't used anything from box 3 or 4 as yet, but now we're going to be opening box 3 because that's the next headboard we need. Obviously, it shows us here that box 3 That's where your headboard is. So for 9, we're gonna go ahead and prep with the big wooden dowel as you see here, and then we're gonna go ahead and open box 3, find that part, and then prep it by adding the I said the threaded screws in to where it's gonna meet over there, so we can advance to 11, put it on, lock the headboard in place, and then we should be at box 4. All right, so here we go. Let's go. I like to give you guys simple, straightforward, clear instructions with the clarity you deserve. So again, thank you for viewing, subscribing, and sharing to Trowers Furniture Assembly. We always try to just do what we can in the market of doing and having good assembly track records with assembling all various types of furnitures, and we uphold the same integrity as we would for our families when we're building these things in your home. All right, so always follow the instructions properly, build it right, make sure everything is tight in the right way so that the family who's using these items can really enjoy it without damage or having to worry. Okay, now that we've prepped that for step 9, let's advance to step 10. Step 10 advises us to go ahead and open box 3. I believe we should only have 1 item in this box. Okay, we do have multiple. That's okay. That's perfect. So here is the headboard. We're going to show you how the instruction shows us to prep that. But we also have these inserts. Let's take these out. I'm going to rest these over here for now. Okay. And we have these pieces that will help us raise the bed up, because we do see that it's coming up shortly where it wants us to raise the bed up again. So we'll just use the 4 biggest pieces we have. Let's just throw this here. All right. Now we have 4 pieces, and we'll just use these to help us raise it up, as I see coming up in another step. So we will do that again. So, but as for prepping the headboard, let's just flip it over here. Okay, don't damage it by slamming it hard or anything, just really straight. I'll place these at the corner. We kind of know where we're going to use them already. All right, at this step shows us at step 10 to take our threaded screws, and we're going to place them in the 4 small holes at the bottom of the headboard piece. Note the orientation of these 2 holes. These 2 holes match the wooden dowels right here. Okay, and if your headboard is not in this orientation, please take a moment to put it in that orientation, because it's going to make it easy to go from here onto there and place it right down, because we're going to use this in step 11, as well as the special screwdriver, our wrench, whatever we wrench, that's vise, grip we want to call it. Sometimes the names don't come out, but we're going to need this next, so prepare that. Okay, as well as the nuts. The nuts are going to be going on these as they lock up and tighten with this force in the headboard to give us a nice complete bed frame. Then we'll get to building the actual platform of the bed, where you'll be laying down, putting a mattress on and everything. There's our mattress over there waiting to be rolled out. That's something else. We're just focused on this item here today. All right, here we are. We'll go back for this one for this procedure. Just makes it easier. Okay, so here we are advancing to step 10. got some background music. There we go. And that should also bring us at the end of all those boxes, guys. There we go. Wonderful. And we have this bag. We've been wondering what it's for. Right? Nice. We have this bag. We've been wondering what it's for. Note they have not put the underneath inserts yet. That comes in later after the mattress is on. Okay. Very neat. Don't have a child do this. Just don't. Look at step 34 very carefully. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is literally put all those pieces on and get the mattress on. That way the up force could be balanced out. Okay, very good. Now we're gonna repeat this 32 times and 34 times those. Okay, let's just repeat this step. Watch, follow along if it helps. We're gonna first do all the top coming down, and then we'll move on to the rest. Let's just leave these over there. We'll start with these. Yep. We'll start with those. And this is pretty straightforward. You just take this here, you put one on each end, slide it at an angle. Yeah, this part is just a lot of repetition, okay? Pop them down and repeat. Now have a seat if you need to. Get comfy. Get comfy. That does help at this stage, okay? And thank you all for being here this far through. Appreciate the love. You see the curve is on top. All the boards should be curved upward. That's obvious. Pop them in. A lot of repetition. We're gonna do this till these are done. Just muster up the power to do it. If you have help, that means you do 16, someone else do 16, you're done. And here I'm gonna be repeating this over and over. Let's go. Also do up a bunch of them, then pop them in. But by the time you do that, you look back, you realize if you've been doing and popping them in, then you're done. You don't have to go back and pop them in, especially when repeating it so many times. All right, moving right along. Just repeat, repeat, repeat. You will get there. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Yeah. There we go. Okay, take a break if you need to, stretch your legs, whatever you need to do. All right, put that down. Getting ready to pack away our tools as we're done with the needs for most tools. Put away few things, and we're gonna get right back to it as we're on our last few stages. Okay, there we go. We're gonna continue. Let's see if we can be a little more effective with these. just knock out a whole bunch in one setting, flip it and do the same thing on the other side. Now you could find creative ways, guys, when you have a lot of repetitive tasks like these. And this is the last box we're gonna work in, so let's just pour it all out here. Don't keep them in the bag. You know you're gonna use them all, get them out the bag. We're gonna just do a whole bunch this way. Now make sure if you're doing a whole bunch this way, it's in the right orientation. And we're gonna flip them, do the last side. That should bring us quite far away, and then knock out that next pile the same way. This is one way to look at it, ladies and gentlemen. Express processes with the repetitive part will greatly help you reduce the turnaround time, so you can get to the end of this, keep up with us, and get to the end of your assembly and be ready for the next one. Okay, so now guys, this is nice. We got ahead of the way because we're doing this like just focusing on these. Grab it as a group, flip it. You can keep it close if you want to. Just pay attention to the orientation. All right, and as one is done, just kind of place it out your way. As I said, another way to express these here. All right, hope this is helping. And you should be looking at the fine build of the MALM bed with storage. All right, sometimes you find these with drawer storage and rolling stuff, and there's so many different builds out there. But guys, I'm joining the world of the assembly instructions to help just build quality to the community, help give what others have been given, and just continue to add to that. There's room for us all to grow and learn from different folks, and I just want to be one of those folks in the journey of helping you achieve your furniture assembly goals at home, working with someone or by yourself to get it done. Again, but always follow the instructions that the manufacturer provide. These are just my tips and guide to help you, all right? Not telling you how to do it, as the manufacturer already provided that. And there we go, guys. So if you express it like that, you see how quickly you can advance to almost being done. And we're going to do the same thing for the last ones. First, let's just go ahead and pop these in place. All right, pop them in place. All right, there we go. Wonderful, guys, wonderful. Now, without further ado, I'm literally gonna just take these. I'm gonna pop a squat back right here. It's sitting down, obviously. Let's make sure we're still giving you some good quality here. Wonderful. Okay, wonderful. So now let's move on. This is what it should look like. You barely have anything left. And again, shout out to the families that allow me to capture some of these that are being built live. We're not staging to show you, we're always building them live, so we always have a different what would I say, scenario we're in, meaning that, you know, you're gonna end up building these in all types of different spots. So how fair would it be for me to just build it in a clear open space? I want to also deal with the challenges you all might deal with, because I'm not there to help you. So I know some of the challenges you might face is really tight spots and tight areas to build in. All right, this room is a bigger room. Some rooms are much smaller than this, depending on where you are, and then depending on some people's budget, you might have to really do this yourself. Okay, even though IKEA do have an affordable way of you doing their stuff by booking a professional to come out and to help you at very low cost. I think the minimum standard hour for all assembly in the United States is about 36 an hour. So you give or take, depending on the item. You could always go on their website and check. All right, and that will give you great details right there in itself. All right, guys, so here we are advancing through to step 31, so we can be done with step 31 and move on. All right, I'm gonna tell you now, move on to step 32, which is having them all placed down. And once we're there, all right, let's just go flip all of these, do the opposite side, so we can go to putting that mattress, fold the mattress out, put it down, let it start to fluff up, and we'll lift it up, and we'll place these sticky pieces on this unit like so. All right, you see it's showing us about 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 on each. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Yep, 8 on each of the panels, if that makes sense. Count, you see 5 and 3 equals 8 on each. So we'll do the same thing either way you look at it. Now note the edges, obvious, and then we're gonna just place them downward with those sticky pieces to the bottom. All right, and note it just goes straight flat to the bottom. All right, and then we should have, let's see here, based on how high, right, based on how high we want this piece to raise with us, we can go back and manipulate that. We should see that we have we don't have any more pieces. So here's just telling us, just in case that anything don't line up, to double check, go back here, and we want to make sure that the side that's on there is the side. This is just an important note. Okay, and then these are these two push-in tabs right here. I'm looking around and I don't see any of that, and I don't have any other hardware, so I'm assuming that's just telling us another thing there in, you know, reference. So we're gonna raise it up and look at that and see exactly what it's saying. But everything looks good, and that should be our last stage right there, closing it down. And here again it shows us if we want to remove any of this, make adjustments, and then reinserting those pieces for these particular pieces. So it's showing us that. All right, and we'll go ahead and check that out. Okay, now let's make sure. You should see that you're at the end. You have done a wonderful job building the MALM bed by IKEA with storage. Okay, so let's just go ahead and flip these like we discussed. As we've looked ahead, we know exactly what's next. And we can go ahead now, finish these off, and as I said, place them down as you finish them. And see if we need to make any adjustments with those side pieces or the pistons that raise this thing up and down. And I'm gonna jump out of from where I am catching a seat because it's coming down to the end. So let's just put the rest of these on. All right, while I'm here, I'll knock these in. Down. There we are. We're gonna go ahead and open up the mattress next. And I see that I have a little room to try and free the plug back up. Let's see if we can do that. Yeah, and move this over a little bit. There we go. Okay, wonderful, guys. This is a great build, and it shouldn't be too difficult if you have this kind of guide as well as the right help to help you do it. Note, it might take longer. Don't be upset. Just know that as long as you're getting through it steady without hiccups, it's better than rushing through it or feeling like you're not getting through but nothing is being accomplished, right? So let's go ahead and get our mattress. The mattress is very heavy, guys. Be careful when moving and rolling this out. I'm gonna go ahead and take the straps off. Just these holding straps. They can be reused for other things. Alright. If you have camping stuff and you like to roll it up and have an extra handle on it, this creates that type of deal. If you have a way to help, it creates a way to have others also help you hold something, right? You're gonna start to rip it out. Please do not use a blade on this. It's a very sensitive mattress, and if you cut it, it will, you know, not be nice. That's it. Just let it do its thing. See that? Let it do its thing. Alright, flip it. Always want the tag at the bottom, of course. Just like that. Let's go ahead and move it over. Move it over. Alright. Firm it down. There we go. Now it's gonna take its time and literally just fluff its way up. Now we can test it. With the mattress on it, the weight of the mattress help it to balance so it doesn't slam. Wonderful. Now we can go ahead and just check right here out like we were saying. All right, shows us if we want, we can pop the screwing pin out here. It's like a pop through, and we can maneuver this piece. All right, and that's all it was showing us, that if it wasn't already in, and to secure it on here, but it already came secured on here. That's all this is showing us. Just in case you didn't know, this is how we did this. We don't need to do anything with it. That's where those extra screws are that we're looking for, that one and the tab. All right, that's that. Let's go ahead. Like I said, we're gonna do for each of these. This is where I take a moment to pack some tools back up. All right, again, keep your work area neat, clean, and you should advance through what you're doing pretty smoothly. And at the end, you don't have this big effort to clean up, which is always a way to save quality time. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and make sure we leave the book, which is the instructions with the client. Just pour those out because we're gonna use them out now. Last of our garbage right there. And we're gonna start with this one. As I said, pack up all the tools we don't no longer need. Hope this helps someone really overcome their assembly needs today. Okay, and again, thank you for believing and trusting in us to bring you the quality and greater detail to just help you get through your assembly needs. So here we have one, and we're gonna just dress it up right where it's at, and we'll do that to each of them. Whoop, don't rip the instructions. We're gonna do that to each of them now that we are somewhat more packed up, ready to go. Okay, so as again, it's 5 of these on each. Just sticky part, they're just sticky, and you're just gonna stick them on like that. So we need 8 for each, so that's 4, 5, and 3, 8. 5, 3, 8, 8. So we'll do this, repeat this real quick, and put each piece underneath, and then guess what? We are at the end, guys. We are at the end. I hope this helped you to overcome your fears of doing this, and hopefully, even if you watch first, then you plan to do it later, hopefully this has helped, and that you can start to make decisions about the amount of space you may need based on where it's going, where it's being installed. Note, you will have those issues. That's why I try to build each and every one of these we come across in that specific area. All right, just like that. Now you could also do it the opposite. You could put 2 2 1 1, spread it out more, but as long as you have it spread out evenly, you go ahead and take this underneath, push that up. That's one. Let's do the middle. As I said, pretty straightforward, no confusion here, pretty straightforward. Could also strip off a bunch of them, and just showing you different methods of achieving your goals quickly and not spending a long time, especially when you're here at the finish, you know. So that's 3 4 5 6 7 8, and again the pattern is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So I flipped the pattern a little bit to give a more even spread. This is truly what you want it to look like, okay, in either direction. And put this one down, slide it. There's the base. Guys, we're on the last step. We're gonna put the last one, we're gonna close it back down, test it one more time, and we'll say thank you again for sticking through with another build. My furniture assembly. This is the IKEA MALM bed with storage. All right, let's do the same thing, save time by opening up a bunch. Yeah, it's easier with the gloves. It's easier with the gloves for other things, but not when doing stuff like this. And so here we are. At the end of today's assembly, we'll submit the invoice. We'll make sure our client has nothing else they might want to do. Like I see another IKEA box here. You never know. All right, and leave a good impression so they can always use your services again. And if you ever need my service, you know where to find me. I'll always be here supporting you and your furniture assembly journey to have your home looking great and ready for you and your family to function, so you can move on with the quality tier things of life, you know, or more quality things in life, I should say, right? Because having good quality furniture does improve the quality of your life, right? Especially these type being built well. So you do that. All right, push that down a little more. Okay, let's see, a slight issue up top. See that corner being ripped out? You don't want that, so let's back it up and get it underneath. All right, yeah, that's what it was. There we go. Middle now, sit nice, very good. That is it. Now, this is what your finished product should look like. Let's get rid of the other garbages. I also want to end the video and do a nice thumbnail of this one. Make an offer to take the boxes with me too. Gotta fill in the gas money somewhere. Here we are. We'll leave this right underneath there with the assembly stuff. Show you guys what you need. I'm just setting up for my thumbnail here. All right, wonderful, guys. Let's test this mechanism one more time. Weight should take it right down. Looking good. The mattress is swelling like it should. Beautiful. You can bring it down a little after each time you go up. strays up. Testing out for safe work. Looking great. Wonderful, guys. Thanks again for sticking with us to the build of the MALM storage with bed. All right, this item number, the specific item number here, I can give it to you, is 07404818. okay, wonderful. Good. Let's close it down to get another view. That's what it should look like, even if you're building it in a tight spot, guys. Okay, I'll advise them they can save these or toss them. I have a lot of them already. All right, we're gonna end it here today. Again, thank you for sticking through the Charles Furniture Assembly quality builds, flat packs from all different types. Here we're featuring IKEA MALM storage bed. All right, over and out, guys. Thank you. Peace and love.